Welcome to Gems.
Welcome to Gems.
Welcome to Gems.
Welcome to Gems.
Hi guys, welcome back to another month of Gems. We hope you're all doing well, even though times are pretty hard right now. I would just like to let you know that this Gems is going to be pretty amazing, so you probably want to stick around. We are so glad to see you again and hope you enjoy. But before we get started, let's have a quick prayer. Dear God, we would like to thank you for this amazing technology that has not only helped us connect with our Gems family, but lots and lots of more people in our community and has helped us to grow our Gems family. I like to pray that this Gems is not only amazingly fun, but also educational. I would like to thank you for bringing everyone here today, and I would like to pray for everyone on the other side of that screen that they are doing as well as they can in these times. Thank you and amen.
Hello everyone, what a way to start Gems by celebrating. So this month of September, I have decided to put up some decorations. So let me get my party hat on. And we can start decorating and celebrating. So this month we've had 3 birthdays. So we've got Zara, happy birthday Zara. Imogen Prince, so happy birthday Imogen. And Ivy, happy birthday Ivy. Now for Ivy's birthday, she got 3 bunnies. Isn't that crazy? So 3 treats for 3 bunnies. That is brilliant. Now Nisha also found out what high school she's going to. So that's awesome. Now, because you're going to high school, I'm going to put up this decoration really high. Do you think that's high enough? I think so. Now, Georgia also started finger knitting, and her finger knitting is bigger than her face. I've got the perfect decoration for that. Fairy lights! So celebrating you, Georgia, well done. Now finally, we also have finished a full term of remote learning. Woo! Let's celebrate the students! Woo! That's absolutely amazing. Now, that is all our celebrations this month. So if you send in some more, we can celebrate next month together, because life is worth celebrating.
Hey guys, hope you're enjoying Gems so far. It's time for us to play a game which is called Guess the Leader. So how this game works is I've got some clues here, and each of the Gems leaders has shared with me 3 facts about themselves. And it's your job to guess which 3 facts match up with which leader. Now there are 9 of us leaders, and some of you might know lots about all of us. But if you don't, that's okay too. You can still play along and hopefully you'll learn something about each of us. So, before we get started, I'm going to just quickly run you through all of our names. If you're not sure of our names, you can always pause the video and copy down so you've got a bit of a list to go off. If not, our photos will be up on the screen and you can just point to the one that you think it is. But here are our leaders. So we've got Amy, Chelsea, myself, we've got Georgia, Hayley, Hannah, Haven, Michaela, Steph, and Zara. So that's our leaders' names. Make sure you've got those down if you need them. And let's get into our first round of clues. All right, so here we have it. Person number 1. I used to live in Western Australia. I am left-handed, and when I was little, my favourite colour was burgundy. And the leader was Amy. All right, time for leader number 2. I drive a silver car. My favourite chip flavour is salt and vinegar. And I have a pet bunny. Who do you think it is? Guessing time is up, and the answer is Hayley. Hayley's got a very cute little bunny called Coco. Alright, our next leader played the trombone in primary school. Her eye colour looks different depending on what colour clothing she wears or the lighting. and she was faith and worship captain at school in year 11. Bit of a tricky one, that one. Who do you think it was? And the answer is Haven for that one. All right, next clues. This person does not like dark chocolate, but they like all other kinds of chocolate. They have never broken a bone, and they got kicked out of dancing 2 years in a row for being too off with the fairies. Who do you think that one was? All right, that one was Zara. Nice, Zara. You can see as we're going along that the people who have guessed are being crossed off, so our options are going down. Let's go to our next person. We've got our 5 leaders left to choose from. So we've got Hannah, Georgia, me, Chelsea, Michaela, and Steph left to go. So, first clue. This person has lived somewhere other than Melbourne. They love to bake, and they have the same middle name as their mum. Any guesses on that one? That was Georgia. All right, we got 4 to go for this one. I have visited every state in Australia. This person also can't whistle. And when they were little, their dream job was to be a taxi driver. Any idea who that one was? And that one was me, Chelsea. I definitely don't want to be a taxi driver anymore. All right, we've got 3 people to go. These clues are very, very interesting. This person appeared in a school documentary that aired on the ABC in 2016. They have an umpiring certificate in the sport lacrosse, and they've won a state championship for the 100-meter butterfly. Very impressive. Let's see who it was. It was Hannah. Well done, Hannah. You're a very talented person. All right, we've got 2 to go. This person was hit by a Jeep as a kid. They thought Scooby-Doo was a real dog until they were 10 years old, and their parents left them on the side of the road in America at 4 o'clock in the morning in their pajamas. Any guesses who this leader was? That one was Steph. Poor Steph being left on the side of the road. All right, so obviously we've got 1 leader left to go, so these clues, it's a bit easy to guess. This person is studying at university, they love scrunchies, and they are the eldest child in their family. And we've only got Michaela left on our screen, so clearly that one is Michaela. Thanks so much for playing Guess the Leader with us. Hope that you learned something new about our team, and enjoy the rest of the session. Bye.
Hi everyone, Hayley here, and it's that time to get up and dance again. I've got my little daughter here, Isla, who's going to help us sing and dance along, and we're going to dance to My Lighthouse, which is a song about trusting God through all seasons of life. So if you're ready, hop up and dance.
In my wrestling and in my doubts, in my failures, you won't walk out. Your great love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled seas. Whoa, you are the peace in my troubled seas. In the silence, you won't let go. In the questions, your truth will hold. Your great love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled seas. Whoa, you are the peace in my troubled seas. My lighthouse, shining in the darkness, I will follow you. My lighthouse, I will trust the promise. You carry me safe to shore, safe to shore, safe to shore, safe to shore. I won't fear what tomorrow brings. With each morning I'll rise and sing. My safe to shore. Safe to shore. Safe to shore. Safe to shore. Fire before us, you're the brightest. You will lead us through the storms. Fire before us, you're the brightest. You will lead us through the storms. Fire before us, you're the brightest. You will lead us through the storms. Fire before us, you're the brightest. You will lead us through the storms. My lighthouse, shining in the darkness, I will follow you. My lighthouse, I will trust the promise. You will carry me safe to shore. Safe to shore. Safe to shore. Safe to shore.
Yay! Well done, everybody. Thank you so much for dancing with us, and we'll see you next time. Bye!
Hey everyone, just bringing you an update on some stuff that's been happening in the GEMS community this month from my notes that are just here. So we're actually currently working on a special surprise project, which is really exciting. GEMS girls, you should have received a kind of request from us in either the mail or via email. So if you can, please check that out if you haven't already, and send your submissions to us at gemsprestonsalvos@gmail.com. We need to collect them all before Monday the 21st of September, so it's about a week from now. For the rest of the community watching, we will be announcing what that surprise project is very soon, but not yet. If you remember last month's kindness project, anyone? We challenged you to encourage people who were walking past your house by putting either a picture or a Bible verse somewhere that they might see it. So thanks heaps to everybody who did that. This month, we'd love for you to send some words of encouragement to a teacher. You can send them a nice card or a letter or even an email. So up to you. The last thing that I have to tell you is you might have noticed that we've released 2 extra videos recently. So those are actually the first 2 videos of a short series that we're doing called Bible Gems, with different leaders each week sharing little gems that we've learned from the Bible recently. The 2 that are already out, I believe, can be found on our YouTube channel, Facebook or Instagram, but they'll also be sent out every Sunday. There are 6 videos to go, the next one of which is coming up this Sunday in 2 days, and I believe that segment will be myself talking. So I'll see you all then. Meanwhile, let's move on to the next segment.
This month's Bible reading is taken from Mark chapter 4, verses 35 to 41, and it's entitled, Jesus Calms the Storm. As evening came, Jesus said to his disciples, "Let's cross to the other side of the lake." So they took Jesus in their boat and started out, leaving the crowds behind, although other boats followed. But soon a fierce storm came up. High waves were breaking into the boat, and it began to fill with water. Jesus was sleeping at the back of the boat, with his head on a cushion. The disciples woke him up, shouting, "Teacher, don't you care that we're going to drown?" When Jesus woke up, he rebuked the wind and said to the waves, "Silence, be still." Suddenly the wind stopped, and there was a great calm. Then he asked them, "Why are you afraid? Do you still have no faith?" The disciples were absolutely terrified. "Who is this man?" they asked each other. "Even the wind and the waves obey him." May God add his meaning to this word.
Let's get moving! Okay, we're going to start off with 10 of our side brushes last month. Ready? And go!
Well, I hope that you are loving this month's session of GEMS. And now I have had the absolute privilege this month of getting to sit down and share with three amazing women. Two of them, Sha'ella and Amaya, have become part of our GEMS family since we've started doing GEMS online. And they have sat down with their beautiful mum, Debbie, and they are going to share a little bit with us about their story, a little bit about themselves, and how they've come a part of our GEMS family since COVID-19. And they have a really incredible story about how COVID-19 has affected them. And I know that you're going to be so inspired and challenged by hearing girls just like yourself share a little bit about their story and about what God is doing in their lives. So after they bring their interview, then Debbie is going to bring our message for this month. And we know that that's going to really challenge and inspire us as well. So I'll let them introduce themselves to you, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of today's session.
Well, thank you for coming on and chatting with me on Zoom today. We're really excited to get to know you and hear a little bit more about how you're going. So do you want to start off maybe by introducing yourselves? Tell us your names and how old you are, girls only.
Okay.
I'm Amaya and I'm 8. I'm Sha'ella and I'm 10.
Beautiful. And who have you got with you today?
Oh, I'm Debbie and I'm not 10 or 8, a little bit.
You're 46.
I am 46.
Great, now the whole world knows. So, girls, can you tell me your favourite animal?
Dolphins.
Nice, me too. They're one of my favourites as well. What about you, Sha'ella?
I like wolves and bats.
Oh, nice.
That's completely chalk and cheese.
Yeah, very different.
And chalk.
So I thought we'd start off with all the very important questions like animals and food, and then we'll get into the other stuff. So can you tell me if you could have any snack in the world, if mum wasn't, there, what would you choose?
Fries.
Right? Did you say?
Fries.
Oh, fries. Good
Done with
choice.
fries.
Yes. What about you, Sha'ella?
Pizza and donuts.
Oh, very nice. Pizza and donuts.
We're a healthy family. Definitely chocolate all the way. So
yeah, I'm with you on that one. Beautiful. And what is one of your hobbies or something that you love doing?
Watching YouTube and singing.
Oh, nice. I've seen some videos of you singing.
I like skating and playing Roblox.
Oh, very cool. Nice. What about you, Debbie?
what do I like? Do I have hobbies? I look after children all day. I remote learning all day. I watch Netflix. I like to read sometimes.
Nice.
That's about it.
Nice.
Life.
Cool. So I think we just mentioned remote learning. Have you girls enjoyed doing school from home this term, and why or why not?
No.
Why not?
Because we don't get to play with our friends.
Yeah, I know that part's really hard, not being able to see our friends. What about you, Sha'ella? Have you enjoyed it?
A bit.
Mm-hmm. What did you enjoy?
I like that we can finish earlier than in school.
Yep.
The quicker you get finished, then you get to play more.
Yeah, more time you get to play.
That's right, yes.
Yes.
Very good. I'm a teacher as well, and a lot of my students in grade 6, they finish by lunchtime, so they have the rest of the day to play. So I know what you mean. All right, so I just wanted to ask, obviously we're living and COVID-19 is happening right now, so how has that affected you guys as a family?
Wow. It's changed our lives, really, hasn't it? This virus. We were living in the Philippines. We've been there for 2 years working with the Salvation Army. And then all of a sudden, COVID-19 hits. And it was pretty scary. It's been really hard here in Victoria, but it was very different there. It was quite frightening. And numbers were increasing rapidly. Like even yesterday, they had 5,000 cases yesterday. So.
Wow.
In March, when it sort of first was happening, numbers were increasing. It was unsafe to go outside. In fact, in the Philippines, if you're under the age of 21, and over the age of 60, you are not allowed to be outside. So
At all.
now, so literally can't be outside. So they did online learning there, and their school, they did exams online as well.
Wow.
Yeah, hospitals were closing because they were so full. So there was no medical care really for even basic needs. So as it sort of started to get worse over there, and they had a curfew as well. So like here, what would happen at 8 o'clock is this big wailing siren would go off, and you had to be inside. So there was a really different feel, a different environment. And so it was in the other suburb. And so anyway, we decided that we probably needed to come back to Australia to be safer for the girls. And so we tried our best to get onto a plane. We missed the first flight. Well, we didn't get a seat on the first flight. Eventually, we came on a repatriation flight back to Australia. And it was a pretty scary flight, actually, because we hadn't been outside for so long. And then all of a sudden, we're in this tiny plane with hundreds of people, and doing our best to not touch anything, with gloves on constantly. The girls, I brought this to show you, they had their face shield. We don't have, we haven't worn it since we're on the plane. And masks and everything to protect ourselves. And, finally we got back to Australia, and so now
we're living here.
Now we are living here. We can't get back to the Philippines, and it's still not really safe to be there. And so the Salvation Army have last week made the decision that we will be staying in Australia, and we're still working for the Philippine Salvation Army remotely until September. But next week, I believe it'll be announced that next year we'll be going somewhere else here in Australia and taking up an appointment here.
So next week we can actually be inside the house.
Well, next week we'll know more.
Oh wow, that's very that's exciting. Yeah.
It was interesting because all our personal things, our house and toys and books and everything is still in the Philippines. And thank you to Gems. You guys are amazing. Like, they gave us some clothes and books and toys. Really helped us. We wouldn't be bored now. We're lollipop, of course. There were lollipops.
Oh yes, I can't forget the lollipops.
Thanks for your support. But life has changed a lot.
Yeah.
But we're doing okay. It's been a challenge, but we're much better now, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely a huge journey. And when did you come to Australia?
In April, I think of April, and we did the 2 weeks hotel quarantine into May, and we're living here in Melbourne. Eventually we decided that we needed to enrol the girls in school. So although they finished grade 2 and grade 4, by the system we were in, they've had to go back to grade 2 and grade 4 into Australian schooling, but they've really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Did you get to go to school, girls, or have you been doing remote learning the whole time? Have you been to school?
We done 1 week of school.
Okay.
They went for 1 week. They met their friends, didn't you?
Oh, that's good. Well, I'm glad that you're here safely in Australia and that you're feeling settled. So some people who are watching this might not know that you girls used to come to Preston when you were much smaller. I don't know how old you would have been, but very little.
Well, Amaya was born there.
Okay, cool. So
yes,
very
tiny. Went there. I was nearly about to have you, so my belly was that big.
Yeah, but obviously then you've moved away with your work in the Salvation Army to a few different places. So do you want to just share how you kind of became connected to Gems this year?
Yeah, well, I think because we had been connected to Preston before, and then we've continued to watch the great journey you guys have had with at Preston and with Gems, and a lot of the girls, the younger girls that attend, we know, and it's just been wonderful to see the relationships you've built. So when we came back, and I don't know if we communicated with you, we've seen something online and got invited. It was just really good. The girls are quite shy until you get to know them, and then they're so noisy.
Yeah.
But it was nice for them to have something to go to, and although they don't have the opportunity to build relationship one-on-one with people, they feel connected to the group. strange world of online. And what do you love most about the online gems? We were talking about it this week.
The dancing.
Dancing.
No.
And the art thing.
Oh, doing the art and the craft.
Craft, yeah.
Yeah, it's fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Even I do some.
Yeah, we love the dancing. What about you, Shella? Is there something that you've liked about it?
The games.
Oh, yeah, nice. The games are good.
Games have been fun.
Yeah, well, we're so glad that we've been able to kind of connect with you during this time, and yeah, it's been really lovely to be able to connect with lots of different people when we normally wouldn't have been able to, and yeah, we're really glad that you've enjoyed it. So I just wanted to finish up with a couple of questions. First one, what have you been doing to stay connected to God during this time when we can't actually go to church? So what have you been doing to stay connected to God?
Devotions.
Oh, how about one at a time? What about
Devotion.
Devotions? Yeah, what do you do for devotions?
We have a book called Brave Girls, don't we? And they have their own, and Mum is with them at night time and does a one-on-one.
Oh, nice. That sounds really special.
And
what did
what's
you
something
do?
else?
Kids Zoom.
Kids Zoom, and what's that? Do you want to tell us about that?
Online.
Kids church.
Oh,
So-
cool.
1 week, in that 1 week that they went to the school, both of the girls have a classmate that are sisters.
Okay.
And it's interesting because their dad is a Filipino and their mum is Australian, which was
wow.
the way that it works out.
Yeah.
Us. And so in that 1 week they connected, and then when we went to remote learning, the mother wrote to me and said that their kids go to, it's actually Hillsong Kids.
Yeah.
And would they like to come along? And so we didn't have anything at that point, so they've been going every week, and
We have it today.
they have it today.
Oh, how exciting.
Really, I've never seen them so interactive and really participating, and they've made some little friends on that group. So for this time, it's been really helpful, and they really enjoy it, so it's been great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
They don't necessarily be the Salvation Army, but they're still learning heaps about the Bible, and it was great that they got that invitation to go. So
Yeah.
gems and devotions and online kids church, it's been really good.
Yeah, that's great. And last thing, have you girls got a favourite Bible verse that you would maybe like to share with us today?
How about Shella goes first this time?
Go share.
Yeah. 1 Thessalonians 5:17, never stop praying.
Yeah, never stop praying. And why do you like that verse?
I think it reminded us that no matter what's happening, God is always there, and we can talk to him all the time. It's okay. We can never stop praying. We can always be talking and having our chats with God when it's good, and even when we're having a good time, he's always there to have a chat with. So that was, important for her.
Also, because I remembered it.
And also because it's the shortest verse you can remember.
Good memory verse.
I remembered it for many years, yes.
Yeah. Good.
And we have gems to thank for Amaya's. She reads it every single night.
What is it, Amaya? Do you want to share it with us?
Give thanks to the Lord for his good, his love endures forever.
Oh, that's a great verse. And do you want to tell us why you like that verse?
Because it reminds you that God's love will last
Forever.
Forever. That's a great reminder, isn't it? And I love that you have memorized those verses, because that's something that you can hold with you and keep with you to always remind you. So that's great.
I remember a few weeks ago, or a couple of months ago, you did on Gems, where they had to write a verse and had the hand
Yep.
next to her bed, and every night before she goes to sleep, she puts her hand on the hand and she says it, and then she eats it. And she eats the verse that his love will endure forever, so it goes to her heart, she says.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And her sleep better.
And it's gone in there, hasn't it?
So it has. You remember it, and you know that he's always with you, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, that's so great. Well, thank you so much for coming on and sharing today. I know it can be a little bit scary being on camera and having to answer questions, but you've done such a great job. So thank you so much for coming on. And I know that everyone watching is going to be so inspired and encouraged by what you've shared today. So thank you.
Thank you for the invitation. And thank you to Gems. You guys are amazing. Thanks for an amazing team.
Oh, thank you so much.
Hi guys, Debbie here. I'm wanting to ask you a question before we begin. Let's come over here. Have some water. Here I have a paperclip. Now if I put this into the water, what do we think is going to happen? Will it float or will it sink? Let's give it a try. Oops, yep, definitely sinks. Okay, well I want to try something else. Excellent camera work. If I get a piece of paper towel and put that there and then sit the paperclip on top, what do we think happens now? Well, you know what? Check that out. It actually floats, but the paper towel has disappeared. So now the paperclip is floating all by itself. I wonder, have you ever felt like that first paperclip where it just sunk straight to the bottom? When you've struggled so much you feel like you're sinking. But yet now we have this one here that initially for a very short time it was on a piece of paper towel, but now it is floating by itself. Because of that support that it received at the beginning, it is able to cope better and is now by itself, floating. How amazing is that? I want to ask you a question. Have you ever been on a boat before? Maybe you've been on a cruise ship, maybe you've been on a big fancy yacht, or even in a dinghy where you got to go fishing and catch fish for your dinner. Well, I've been on a boat, the Spirit of Tasmania, because I'm from Tassie, my family is over there, and last year we decided to go on the Spirit of Tasmania to go see my mum. So we drove the car on and we found our cabin, had dinner and enjoyed, some of the entertainment, well, not very much, but the little bit of entertainment that's on the boat. And we went off to bed and thinking, let's get a good night's sleep so we have lots of energy for the next day when we arrived and had to drive to visit my family. So the girls are sleeping in the cabin and Rod is resting, my husband is having a rest. And then as the sort of, we got into the night time and it was quite dark, the boat started to rock more and more. The wind picked up, the waves were smashing against the side of the boat, and we're in the cabin right at the front. So we're heaving backwards and forwards and backwards, and it's just rocking around everywhere. And I was absolutely terrified. Didn't know what to do. Really, really afraid. And I went to Rod, he's by this stage sitting up, and I said, what are we going to do? Like, it's not like I can get off. There's nothing you can do about it. And he wasn't really giving me any assurance because he was afraid as well. So here I am in my pajamas, and I just left the cabin. I didn't put a jacket on, I didn't put shoes on, and I went looking for a member of the crew because I just needed to talk to them about it. And I'm holding onto the side of the walls and eventually found myself to a member of the crew who were able to give me some sense of assurance because I thought we were in great danger, and I was really worried, honestly, that I was going to die. It was a really scary experience. So when you read this story from Mark that we had earlier, I can understand what the disciples must have been feeling. They would have been terrified and scared. The waves are crashing around. And the person that was there that could have helped them, Jesus, what was he doing? He was having a snooze. Like, seriously, Jesus, wake up. Here he is, and they need his help, and he's too busy sleeping. So they're in the storm of their life, and they needed Jesus, yet they felt abandoned. But then they were able to go to him and cry out to him, and he was able to help. But I wonder, have you ever been in a storm of life before? Like, what's the storms of your life? What are the challenges that you've had? Difficulty at school, problems with friends, maybe you've got issues with family. I mean, even what's happening in the world right now can be really scary. They're the storms of our life. We're not talking about the waves in the boat, but the challenges that we face all the time, the things that are happening around us that we're a bit afraid about. We have our fears of different things. We're scared, we're hurting. They're our storms of life. I wonder if you know that it's okay to cry out to God to get help, just like the disciples did. Jesus, wake up, help us. It's okay to say, God, I'm really struggling right now. Can you help me? Because that's what he is there for. Come on, do something. That's what the disciples said. So we can say the same thing. I'm struggling with what's happening with my life. I'm struggling with school. I'm struggling with friends. That's what God wants us to do. You know, in our Bible reading, we read about that. In Mark 8, they said, Teacher, Jesus, they said to him, don't you care? You're not doing anything. Help us. They cried out to him. And so it's normal to do that, to cry out to God, to ask for help. It's normal to ask why. Why is this happening to us? Because what we read about in this story in Mark is that God cares for us and wants to help us, because that's what happened. They cried out for help and he gave them the help that they need. God is a faithful God and he wants us to turn to him. He wants us to chat with him. He wants to have conversation with us. You know, life isn't going to be easy. As Christians, we're not promised that everything is going to be perfect. But you know what we are promised? That God is always there for us. And we can pray to him. We can have conversation with him. We can read in his word and in the Bible and have stories and verses of encouragement that give us strength, that give us advice. God puts people in our life who will help us, who will comfort us and support us as well. He doesn't want us to be that paperclip that sinks and struggles. He wants to be our paper towel. He wants to be the one who will support us, to help us float, to help us deal with those storms of life. When the waves crash around us, he will be there to help us. We need to trust in him. We need to know that he is there and ask for the help when we need it. I'm so thankful to God that he's constantly my companion, my friend, my supporter, and I trust him 100%. And that's what we all need to be doing. So let me encourage you to do that. Cry out to God for help if you need it. Trust in him because he is there for you, and know that he wants to support you through your storms of life, because he just loves you that much and will always be there for you. You just need to ask him as well. When you need to, cry out to him, because he's there right by your side. He's there in your heart and he wants to help you each and every day. So never forget that. Trust in God because he loves you so much.
Jesus said that if I thirst, I should come to him.
now going to head into our usual time of prayer. As I'm praying, I encourage you to think of one thing you are grateful for and one thing that you would also like prayer for. Join with me in prayer. Dear God, thank you for every person watching this video with us. I want to thank you because you are there not only in the good times, but also in the storms. I want to thank you because even though we don't fully understand the plans you have for us, we know your plans are best. Lord, I want to pray that we will always fully trust in you, and when life gets too much, may we lay our worries at your feet. Lord, I want to thank you for the good times, and thank you for the storms. They make us who we are. Be with us today, tomorrow, and all the days that lie ahead. In your glorious name, Amen. Now, if you have a prayer request and you would like us as a GEMS team to pray with you, please feel free to email your request to the email gemsprestonsalvos@gmail.com because we would love to be praying with you.
Hey everyone, I hope you're enjoying GEMS so far. I'm going to be taking you through this month's craft activity. So this activity is to help you pray and give what's on your heart to God. So we're going to be making these little flowers that close and open up so you can write on the inside what you're going to be trusting God with. So what you're going to need to make this is some coloured paper. Any colours are totally fine. Some sort of stick, so you might like to use a real stick, popsicle stick. In my house I found a skewer and a straw, so you could use those. Whatever you have, it doesn't matter. You also need some scissors, sticky tape, a pen or a pencil, anything that you would like to decorate with, so maybe some stickers or textures, whatever you have. And I also found glue handy if you want to do like 2 layers, but you don't have to do that, so that's fine. So let's get started. So to make this, first we're going to make the flower shape. So what you'll need to do is with one of your coloured pieces of paper, just cut out a square shape, which I've already done. It doesn't need to be a perfect square, just like a rough square that's sort of around the size that you want your flower to be. So once you've got your square, you're going to fold it in half twice. So once, and then one more time. So then you've got a little, folded up square. So make sure you know where the bottom is, and then what we're going to do is we're going to cut a little heart shape out of the top. You might like to draw it on first if you want to make it really exact, but I kind of just eyeball it and cut out a little heart shape, because you can always make it slightly smaller or like go back over it with your scissors to fix it up. So I'm just going to eyeball that. It's pretty good. I might just make the point a bit more defined so it looks more like a love heart. There we go. So, and then you open that up and you've got your flower. Pretty simple. And then that would be where you write your message if you're just doing 1 layer. But if you want to do 2 layers, get your second coloured piece of paper that you want to use for the middle and cut that into a square shape. Again, doesn't need to be perfect, just a rough square. And then we're going to do the same thing again. So we're going to fold it once and then fold it again. I feel like this one's going to be quite small. And then with your little folded, keep the folded edge at the bottom and cut your heart shape here at the top. So I'm just going to do that again quickly. Okay. And there we go, there's my second mini flower that I'm going to use as my middle. So when you're sticking them together, it helps if you sort of line up the folds, but it doesn't really matter. So yeah, then you're just going to stick it down with your glue or just sticky tape. So I'm just going to glue it down quickly. And there we go. There we go, and then I have a cute little pink flower. Now is a good time to write your little what you're trusting God with inside. So you might like to do that now. And then I'm gonna start making the leaves to show you how I did that. Now I kind of drew some little leaf shapes onto my paper. They don't need to be perfect. Whatever you want, you can eyeball it if you want as well. So I'm just gonna cut those out quickly. And yeah, just like roughly, you might even like to draw some little lines or something on your leaf to make it look more a bit three-dimensional, I guess. So like I've done on this one. But yeah, use your own creative license and make them really pretty. So I'll just finish cutting these out. Oop, there we go. Okay, so I've got my 2 little leaves. And I think now, after you've written your message on, and you might want to like decorate them a little bit, color them in, stick things on. That would be a good time to do that now before you put it all together. But I'm just going to show you how to put it together now. So first we're going to do the flower. So it's easier if you fold it up into the heart shape when you stick it on. And then you just need a little piece of sticky tape. That's probably a bit big, but anyway. And then you just think about how it's going to unfold once you stick it on. So I'm just going to stick this down like that. And then that's pretty much the flower part done. So because then it just unfolds. It's a little flower and a stick with your little message inside. So then we're just going to put the leaves on. These are a little bit trickier to put on, but it's really easy like once you're doing it. So you just need a tiny piece of tape and then stick that to the end of your leaf. And then you just kind of find where you want it to position under your flower. It's easier if you have your flower open while doing this too. And then I kind of just roll it around and yeah. And then I'm just going to do, oh, where's my other leaf? There it is. And then I'm just going to do the second one. Too much tape again. And same. You don't need this much tape. I grabbed a little bit too much. I might just cut it. There we go. And then yeah, you can kind of roll it around and then it sits really nicely. And that's about it. We have our little flower that can fold on up. And then you might want to decorate the outside too. And then you can reveal your little, what you're trusting God with on the inside. So yeah. Yeah, that's it. So you might want to decorate yours a little bit more than I have. This is just like the basics of how to do it. But yeah, repeat as many times as you like, make as many flowers as you want, and make sure you send us a picture. And yeah, that's all. Thanks guys.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us for another Gems Online. I hope you really enjoyed the session, that you've learnt something from it. We really do miss seeing all your faces, so make sure you send any photos or videos to our email or social media. We'd really love to see that. I hope you're getting out there enjoying this beautiful spring weather. Alright, stay safe and stay well guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye!